Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, let me do this again. Guten Tag, everyone. Good to see you here. This is Fiber Strike 95 Flight Simulation. It's good to have you guys back here today on this stream. So we're back here in Berlin, and we're not back in Berlin. We're back in Munich, actually. This is Munich International Airport, one of Germany's busiest airports. So we're gonna be. This is where we left off on last week's trip. We were supposed to do this on Wednesday, but however, OBS had other plans, so we're back here Friday. So it's good to have you here. This is week 3, leg number 3 of our journey across the Orient Express. So let's go over our flight plan for today's stream. I hope your OBS is better. It is much better now. Super Typhon. So here's our flight plan. So we'll be taking off here from Munich International. Then from Munich, we're going to go cross down until we reach to Rosenheim. Then we'll follow much of the Rosenheim-Salzburg Railway. We'll be going quite a few of the lakes, including Simisi and the the big lake of Chimizi. Going all the way down from here until we reach to our first major waypoint at Salzburg, known as Salt Ridge. For those, we'll be flying over one of the unique landmarks, Hohensalzburg Fortress. This is the POI landmark here at Salzburg, Austria. Then from Salzburg, we'll follow the Western Railway for the rest of the journey, follow the Western Railway, including visiting the big city of Linz, along visiting the Met Abbey, one of the other POI landmarks here in the sim. And we go all the way down from here, visiting quite a few of the landmarks until we visit the beautiful city of Vienna, one of the world's great cities. We'll be visiting all the MSFS POI landmarks. They include Schönbrunn landmark. We visit the Natural History Museum, the Hofburg, the summer residence of one of the residences of the famed Habsburg family. In St. Stephen's Cathedral, we'll be visiting all across all the different landmarks here in Vienna. Just a quick flyover, and then we'll make it to our final stop here at the newest Firefly Air hub, Schwechat Airport, known as Vienna International, Lima Oscar Whiskey. So that is going to be our flight plan for today. If you haven't heard Fabio on the Wednesday stream, said OBS was the platform we hate to love when you mentioned your issues. Yeah, Fabio's had those problems too, Super Typhon. He's had a lot of those problems as well. So the plane we're going to take on today's stream, we're going to actually take a plane that's actually quite familiar for us. When a lot of people get Microsoft Flight Simulator, we actually fly the Cessna 172. However, this livery is not the normal Cessna 172 we all probably know of. This actually is a very special livery done by the incredible member of the two-tone community and one of the admins of Firefly Air, Cyrus T. And he made this cracker of a livery. You can get this from the two-tone website. It is on his website, and it's for those who are in Firefly Air. And this is his take on the Cessna 172. This one in particular is actually the steam gauge version, done by the incredible Cyrus T. And I gotta say, this livery looks absolutely amazing. It looks awesome with the teal, the yellow. It looks absolutely stunning. It's a stunning livery. I mean, Cyrus T did an amazing job working this livery. It's just, beautiful livery. And let's tour the inside of the place. Now, of course, every one of us knows what the Cessna 172 really is. But basically, the Cessna 172 is, for most people, when they think of general aviation planes, I mean, this is probably the one that comes top of people's minds. Over 44,000 of them have been built since 1956. This plane is the good old workhorse. It's not the most powerful, not the fastest, but it can do a little bit of everything. Powered by a big old Lycoming IL-360 engine producing 160 horsepower. It can cruise at 122 knots and has a range of almost 700 nautical miles. This thing is very capable. It's not the fastest. There are faster GA planes than this. There may be ones that take off shorter, but none of them have all of this in a beautiful package. Oh yeah, I think Cyrus is definitely going to work on that. And look at this. He made it all black. The cockpit looks black, and then you see Firefly Air Two-Tone Murphy up here. It just looks absolutely awesome. Yeah, the WB study sim, definitely interesting. So, we've already did our pre-flight inspection. All that looks good. So we don't need to do that. So guys, if you want to join me, I'm on East USA server. The nearest airport is located in the top right of my stream. And that's because I have a program like that. Okay, it's complete. Electrical equipment is off. Fuel selector should be going on both. Okay, fuel shut valve is good. How's everyone doing in chat? I'm doing great. Good to see you, Igu Costello. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to give a shout out to Uncle Beeson channel as well. He's definitely a smaller streamer, but definitely give him support. He's been attending a lot of my streams, so definitely give him some shout out here. Thrall's good. We need to have the idle cut off, so we're going to put the mixture on idle. Clear prop. The prop area is clear, so we're going to turn on the battery switch. The battery switch is located. Thank you, Kylie. No, thank you for being here. Battery switch is on. We turn on the beacon light on down below. We put the mixture to rich. Let's see. We need to turn this on for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clean. We're going to be ready to brake. This ignition is start. There we go. And we make it rich. And now we start the engine. We need to be around. Okay, 1,000. Oil pressure is looking. The altimeter needs to be turned on. So alternator is on. Altimeter, indicator, emitter. And we turn on the avionics suite. So avionics will be turned on. 1 and 2. Radios will be turned on. Transponder on standby. Flaps are up, heading indicator set, altimeter is set, attitude indicator, and that is pretty good. So there you go. There we go. We got everything started. Outside of that, we're going to turn on our taxi lights, our nav lights and strobes, and we're going to get ready to take off. So the cruise altitude for today's flight is going to be at 3,500 feet today. We're going to be, most of the flight's going to be around 3,000 feet. So we're going to fly around 3,000 feet for today. Actually, 3,500 feet is going to be our altitude for this flight. So it's good to have you guys here. I really appreciate you guys showing up for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I know. So yeah, it's great to be here. Let me go ahead and play some of the music. Oh, I don't think my sim sound's working. There. There we go. My sim sounds weren't working really well. Yeah, I had to actually keep. Yeah, I have to keep everything working. So I just need to get back to the taxiway. So yeah, it's great to have you guys back. So a bit about Munich Airport again. I know I covered that. About Munich International. It is actually Germany's second busiest airport, beside Frankfurt, which was the main hub for Lufthansa. This is a hub for Lufthansa and its subsidiary CityLine brand. It's also a focus city for Condor, Eurowings, and TUI Fly Deutschland. They fly to a lot of places around the world, but also a lot around domestic flights. They also have a train initiative here at Munich Airport. They're definitely a very important little airport here in Germany. So now for one last thing, I'm gonna set my heading thing to 158 degrees. So I can set my heading bug. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and put flaps, and we're gonna push this to full power, and we'll be taking off here from Munich. Egos Castell's in. Nice. Just make double sure. Yep, I'm on East USA, just to make double sure. I'm on the right server. $45. Once we get to 50, we can actually start raising it up, and we're off. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the good old Cessna 172. Pick up some speed. Picking up altitude. We're gonna fly around 120 knots for today's flight. Around 115, 120 knots, I think, would be our speed for today's flight. The 172 is not a world beater in that, so this will be more enough for today. Just gonna do a quick circuit around the international airport. Just do it to slowly gain altitude. Okay. Just want to make sure that slide thing worked. So, there you are, Switzerland, into Spitfire. Oh, nice. I bet that's the Flying Iron Spit you got, Eagle Costello. This Flying Iron Spit is still my favorite warbird. It's still incredible. I love flying the Flying Iron Spit. Just, uh-oh. It's lagging again. Oh, great. I think it lagged a little bit. So let's put this back on the autopilot heading, and we're going to go at 500 feet per minute. So 500 FPM is going to be our flight as well. So before we get started, I would like to talk to you guys about Firefly Air. It is my VA organization. As a senior commander, this is the VA I'm working with. So Firefly Air is the virtual airline of the Two-Tone Murphy community. I mean, as is resident researcher, I'm a proud member of that. It's free infrastructure on FS Hub, easy to use, and it lets you generate your own pyre-ups on Xbox too. If you're Xbox, you'll even have things that let you do pirate reports. You can. What Firefly Air can do is track and review your flights, generate landing notes, virtual experience points, because they just added an economy mode now, and geotagging screenshots. And Layer Array Monitor monitors a lot of your flights, and they got stuff even for your Xbox guys, which is, I think, extremely awesome. And the new economy mode lets you now generate company routes. We only got like 2 routes so far, which is Dublin to Liverpool to Bristol is so far our only routes to have XP, but they're going to add more routes in the future. And of course, there's currently no restrictions on your routes, but at least the good news is there's no restrictions on what aircraft types you can use. So in order to be part of Firefly Air, you need to have a pilot application to Firefly Air. It's right here in this website called FS Hub. Create your FS Hub account, and once you create your FS Hub account, you can go. There's an application there on the top left, and you can apply to be part of our amazing VA community. We have over 230 pilots here, so you're not alone. We'll have flights every single day. Then once you do that, you can download the landing rate monitor, which is for free, by the way. Yeah, you don't have to pay anything for it. It's for free. It's only for PC though. Download this, and it will not only track your landings, but if you connect it with FS Hub, you can do a logbook. Really helpful. And finally, after that, you just download FS UIPC or X-Plane UIPC, depending on what platform you're going to be flying. And then step 4, this is for you Xbox pilots, by the way. Let me show you for Xbox pilots. If you're on Xbox, there's this thing called the manual pyre-up. You click this. Now, once you get to the pyre-up, you can select your flight and call sign. That's optional. Then select your aircraft that you've flown. Now, it won't generate your landing rate, but you will do it. Then you type in your departure in your arrival. For example, I flew out from Louisville to Cincinnati today. So I do Louisville's call sign, Kilo Sierra Delta Foxtrot, and Cincinnati's code is Kilo Sierra Victor Golf. Then do the departure date, your departure arrival, and then make your remarks, and then press this, and you submit your pyre-up. This is insanely useful for you guys on Xbox. And that means Xbox people can actually get involved. Despite the fact that that's crazy considering there's not much support for Xbox stuff on Microsoft Flight Simulator. But yeah. And once you do that, once you sign up, there's also liveries now for our Firefly Air guys. Once you join in, you can download these awesome liveries currently, which they include. So far, I've included the 737 cargo liveries, the passenger 737-700. There's also the pushback livery for Firefly Air, done by Jeppesen 2001, which has the pushback things for your airliners. Then Cyrus T did the Phoenix A320 livery, which is in the amazing Phoenix A320, absolutely incredible plane. Then Kenzui did his first ever liveries for the Firefly Air Spitfire. The chrome liveries for all you guys who love chrome. And then the one I like to use is the matte black, which has the classic look, but still got the recognizable brand. Then Cyrus T just did the Cessna 172 livery, which we're currently flying in the air right now. And then there is the BA 146 livery, which is really cool. Hopefully I can show that off one of the streams. And then finally, the most recent livery is the Milviz Cessna 310R livery, and that looks really good too. We have some amazing liveries. Oh, it's a bit of a pain, but I'm glad to be part. Yeah, it is great to be part of the Firefly Air community. Absolutely, the crew here is absolutely amazing. Absolutely enjoy it. So far, let's get back to our airline for a bit. Our profile for this airline. Currently, we have over 11,000 flights, over 9,750 hours, and a distance of over 2.7 million miles. Nearly 2.75 million miles. Pretty insane stuff. And if you guys want to know my account, here's mine. All time, I flew over 207,000 miles, nearly 1,400 flights, and 663 total hours of airtime with the Firefly Air Group. I'm its most accomplished pilot by far, flew over all 241 countries. Oh, I guarantee a Firefly livery would come for the DC-3. Oh, absolutely. A Firefly Air livery for the DC-3 would be awesome. Though, here's something I would really love to see. If Firefly Air comes up with one for the Junkers. Expect me to take it once I have the Junkers. That's what I would want to see, is the Junkers livery for the Firefly Air. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, so far it's doing much better this time. I don't think I've used much drop frames this time. So far it's in the green right now, so far so good. So maybe it was computer updates and graphic driver stuff not been updated. Yeah, so let's see who's flying with us today, by the way. We have Squid, there's Costella in the Spitfire. So yeah, I'm happy everything's going so much better for today. Yeah, it's a flying art Spitfire. Look at Costella in the Spitfire. I mean, look at this livery though. With the shark teeth and all that. Now that part of livery is more famous on the P-40 Warhawks. Yeah, Spits had that too. And thank you so much for coming along and flying along, Costella, as always. Going around 110 knots. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and change our paths. We're going to go change our heading bug to around 143 degrees. So we're going to approach our first scene about 13 miles. so 13 miles, we're going to be approaching our first city on our tour. And yes, I finally got this working. So this is Rosenheim. We're going to be approaching here next. Located in Bavaria, this city is actually an independent city. It's located on the district of its own name called Rosenheim. It's a Landkreis in Upper Bavaria and the seat of the administration there. It's located on the west bank of the Inn River, on the confluence of both the On River and Mengfall in the Bavarian Alpine Foreland. It's the third largest city here in Upper Bavaria with over 60,000 people, and is the economic center and the busiest place in the entire region, funnily enough. Its history goes all the way back to early times when the town's intersecting traffic stimulated development as a market town, and has been around since the Romans, actually, back in 15 BC. Under Drusus and Tiberius took place in this valley, and they founded the province of Noricum. The origin of the city name Rosenheim wasn't completely clear, but apparently in 1234 Rosenheim Castle was built as well, and maybe the name comes from the Rhodes emblem of the East Hall, who built the castle. So there's not very clear on the names. However, during the Holy Roman era, the town quickly grew into become a hub for all different types of goods and services that were transported from the Inn River. And it quickly became very wealthy during this area until around 1600, when it grew to become one of the largest and most important markets in all of Bavaria. However, in the 17th century, it declined due to the 30 Years' War and the shipping companies declined, but also by plagues. However, it redeveloped again in the 19th century due to brine, with salt mines and all that. And then the railways brought a lot more connection to Germany, and it helped it grow even further. During the Nazi era, Rosenheim, a lot of Jews lived here, but were forced out by the Nazis during the rise of power. During World War II, this city was bombed quite a bit during the World War. 14 different bomb attacks happened during the city, especially because it's a major railway hub of the area. Post-war, this place was rebuilt again during this time, and they quickly rebuilt a lot of this area. Some of the most important landmarks you could find here include the Culture and Congress Center. There are quite a few museums, but mainly the Inn Museum there hosts a lot of engineering stuff about the On River. And of course, there are lots of architects too, including the sole survivor of the 5 market gates at the time, the Minotaur, as well. And of course, there's quite a few parks. Obviously, in terms of Rosenheim, there's some pretty famous and infamous people. Raymond Manzek was a member of the Doors, but he passed away here. We have footballer Lars Benz and Steven Bender. But actually, the most infamous person that actually lived here, and I said infamous, his name is Hermann Göring. Very infamous Nazi criminal, one of the worst war criminals in all of World War II. I'm just telling you that in advance. So that is a bit about Rosenheim. There's also lots of train services that operate here. So once we get that, we'll be following the Rosenheim station, which actually originally opened back in 1846, serving 20,000 passengers per day, mainly to other places like to Salzburg, Kufstein, and more. So we'll be visiting Rosenheim today. So yeah, so we're about to enter Rosenheim. yeah, thank you guys so much for coming here today. I'm still currently working on the Berlin city thing. Now, when I originally started the Berlin thing, my original notes, it was 25 slides of notes. But now it's up to new 85, which means 60 more slides to do. I'm still currently working on them. So yeah, we're in Rosenheim for today. Crossing into Vienna. Welcome to the city of Rosenheim. Oh, and by the way, I did see Castell's pics on Discord. I gotta say, Castell, they look absolutely awesome. I saw all the Swiss Air Force stuff. I mean, it's... Here's Rosenheim, and we just passed. And right here, right here is the train station. We just passed the train station. So there's Rosenheim train station. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the heading. We're gonna turn this way. So to our right is one of the few lakes here in Bavaria. To our this side, let's see. This is the lake of Simisi, the last remaining lake. It's last remaining of Lake Rosenheim. It's one of the old glacial lakes that used to be here during this time. So there's that lake of Simisi. Down to our right. You're welcome for the pictures. Yeah. I also need to update my Discord invitation link. I need to update that for my Streamlabs. So let me go ahead and check my stream elements. Give me a sec. No, the link is still good. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, don't be afraid to get the channel a follow. And once you do that, don't be afraid to check out the Discord. My personal Discord doesn't work. So definitely check it out as well. So the main route we're going to be following today is going to be the Rosenheim-Salzburg Railway. This is where we're going to be going to our route for today. So we're going to be following that for this trip. It's a continuous double track and electrified railway, almost within entirely the state of Bavaria. It is an international transport corridor linking between Rosenheim and Salzburg in Austria. This railway has first opened back in 1860 as 2 stages, but has been built currently ever since. And this railway was an important regional railway to link between Bavaria and Austria. it became electrified during the 1920s as well. Then during World War II, the railway was kind of right to do a lot of air raids, but it was rebuilt after World War II, and it became a really modern line towards today. So on the railway route, so the route on this picture, let me go over what the picture is. So we start at Rosenheim Station, we go up and across right through the valley, through the river of Simsee. Then we turn right on Bad Endorf, which I'm a fool, I didn't check the map. Then once we go across that, we turn right and we get to the big old river Chiemsee. Then we go back from the south, back to Übersee, then through Trondheim, Tiesendorf, Rieselang, and then on the way to Salzburg. So that is our route. We go through that, so we'll be following that railway. Yes, redefine what we talk about IFR flying. We are literally following the rail routes. And even though we can't really see the routes very much, but I mean, look at this. We're literally on the foothills of the Alps. I mean, this is just stunning. Very stunning area here. We're right on the foothills of the Alps. Absolutely incredible. Like I said, the Alps are still one of my favorite places. Like I said in the Murph line, the Alps is still one of my absolute favorite places in the Sim to fly. So this big old lake here is known as, it's Chiemsee, I believe. So Chiemsee is the big old lake down in this area. This big lake here is known as often called the Bavarian Sea. The rivers of Tyrol, Aachen, and Prien flow into the river, and it flows with the Ons, which merges back with the Danube. It's divided between the bigger northern section and the smaller section in the southwest. There are three main islands here. We have the Gentleman's Island, which is around here. That's the largest of the islands. Then we have known as Herrenschel. The second island is Frau in Chiemsee, 15.5 hectares, known as Fraueninsel, Lee's Island, and the uninhabited island known as Krautensnell, known as Cabbage Island. And the reason is this was where they cultivated cabbages and all. Supposedly there was a palace that was actually built, that was supposed to be built by King Ludwig, but it was never completed. But that was a replica of the Tree of Versailles, of the Palace of Versailles, but that was never completed. Yeah, I love the scenery here too. Look at this. We're literally on the foothills of the Alps. I mean, it's just doesn't get much prettier than this. I think this is probably going to be among the most stunning areas of our journey. It's some absolutely beautiful stuff. Oh my goodness, Costello. You're doing really well, Costello. Have to keep up with a small Cessna 172 now Mighty Spitfire. That's really nice. Really, really awesome. So I hope you guys are doing well. All those people also in the lurkers in the chat, I hope you're doing all right yourself for today. I mean, today is Friday. This is the start of the weekend, which is probably why I'm much happier than usual today. But I'm glad everything's starting to work out really, really well. So our next city is going to be a city known as Traunstein. That's going to be our next city. So the next city is going to be the city of Traunstein, right here. Now Traunstein is located in the southeastern part of Bavaria. It's the administrative center of the much larger district of Traunstein. It serves as a local government, retail, health services, transport, and educational center of the district. It's known for its historic market square, Bavarian hospitality, lots of local breweries, outdoor sports facility, the Easter Monday horse parade, and connections to Pope Emeritus Benedict the Sixth. Actually, Pope Benedict the 16th, who used to be the previous pope until Pope Francis came along. This place has been around since the 790. But the first people to really expand this settlement was the Bavarian dynasty and royal family, the Wittelsbachs, and they used it to control a lot of the salt routes during this area that helped it grow greatly into prosperity. Unlike other cities, this Traunstein was spared from the damage of the 30 Years' War that happened during this time. But there were quite a few town fires and was struck by twice of civilian fires, both in the 1700s. During the 1900s, the salt production here was shut down in 1912. During World War I, it was previously the site of a lot of the salt production facilities, became a camp for civilian prisoners. During World War II, it was 4 times the target of U.S. Air Force bombardment, and it destroyed much of the train station in the area. It was also in addition, this area was also the sub-camp of the infamous Dachau concentration camp. Post-war, it was a district-free city for much of the post-World War II era. Of course, its most famous person here was Pope Benedict the 16th, born 1927. He was actually spent much of his childhood living here, but he was the previous pope before Pope Francis, the current pope of the Vatican. So definitely, now we turn right. It's absolutely great to fly with you, Viperstrike. Oh, thank you so much, Costella. It's great to have you fly alongside me today, Costella. It makes me feel better that people will fly along with me today, especially, you know, what happened Wednesday. So it's great that you're flying along with me. It makes me happy there are people willing to fly with me and everything. Like I said, you're always welcome anytime to fly along with. But yeah, this area is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. So our next city is I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this now. Our first major city is going to be Salzburg. The Salzburg is one of Austria's most important cities. It's the fourth largest in Austria with a population of 156,000. Salzburg literally translates to, in German, Salt Castle. Schwarzbach is in Austrian. This town was on the site of the Roman settlement of Uhlwallen, and it was founded as a jurisdiction in 696. It became the seat of the Archbishop of Salzburg in 798. Of course, its main source of income is salt trade, extraction, trade, and gold mining. The fortress of Hohensalzburg is one of the largest fortresses in all of Europe, dating back to the 11th century. It became a center of the Counter-Reformation, with numerous Baroque churches built. Its historic center is one of the best preserved in all of the Alps, renowned for its Baroque architecture. And as a result, it is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's also had 3 universities and a large population of students. And tourists love visiting this area for the scenic alpine sites and the historic city center. The Roman Empire used to have settlements back in the Roman times. Though after the name Salzburg comes from Salt Castle, which derived from the barges carrying off salt. It became independent from Bavaria in the late 14th century, and was occupied during the German Peasants' War. And there was some religious conflicts. Eventually, Salzburg was annexed by Austria in 1805, and still to this day. During World War II, Allied bombing destroyed 7,600 houses and 550 inhabitants were killed. But most of the architecture thankfully remained intact. And today it became as well. But Salzburg is very well known for its Romanesque and Gothic architecture and its Baroque stuff. There are tons of sites. It's a tourist favorite. Of course, the historic city center is by far the most people love to visit, but there's so many things. Its famous cathedral, the Holy Trinity Church, and of course one of its oldest buildings, the Franciscan Church, dating back to 1208, are some of the main sites here in Salzburg. In addition, hey, Nickel Wallace, I'm not on East USA, I'm East USA server. So Nico, I'm on East USA server. First time in the chat, welcome Nico. I'm on East USA, not West, East. So there's some very notable citizens here. But there are two. But there's one particular one that I gotta say is the most important. This city is the birthplace of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. One of the greatest classical music artists of all time was born here in Salzburg. But outside of that, there's some other very famous people. King Otto of Greece was born here when he became the monarch of Greece until 1862. Austrian poet Nicholas Bernhard was raised here, and of course, another famous person that actually worked in the courts here during his law degree, Theodor Herzl, a very well-known person as well. There are lots of very famous people. Also, the brother of Joseph Haydn, Johann Haydn, was actually working here too. yeah, some very famous people were born. Thank you so much, Nico, for wanting to join. Hey, I'll join. Thank you so much. So, for all you guys who are new in chat, this is leg 2. I'm doing the Orient Express journey for my virtual airline of Firefly Air. It is from Paris to Istanbul. This is leg 3, so we already went through Paris to Strasbourg, Strasbourg to Munich, and now we're doing part 3. So you're all more than welcome to join in. Now, the main train station here in Salzburg is the Salzburg Bahnhof, the central station. It is the most important station in the agglomeration of Salzburg. It's the most important train station here in the area. It's the hub of its own railway, and it's been the border station with Germany, because Strasbourg is actually on the border of the country. It serves both the Austrian Federal Railways, the OBB, and Deutsche Bahn AG. So that's a bit about. So we're now overlooking Salzburg today. Like I said earlier, this place is by far most famous for being the birthplace of Wolfgang Mozart. And if you guys never listened to anything Mozart made, the dude is an absolutely he's a musical genius. So we're gonna go ahead and descend. We're gonna actually get a close-up of our POI, our fortress. Salzburg. We're gonna get a close-up. Oh, by the way, to our left is actually the airport for the area, Salzburg Airport, here in Salzburg. This city is actually Austria's second largest airport in the entire country, behind only Vienna. And it serves a lot of European destinations, mainly throughout Europe, but also like London, seasonal flights to Tel Aviv, Berlin, Copenhagen on Eurowings. They do lots of seasonal flights. They end up here in Salzburg, probably because, like I said, to visit the historic state center and all that. But yeah, absolutely stunning area. So now, for guys, if you're wondering why I do these slideshows, I'm part of the Tuto Murphy community as the primary researcher. Okay, wanted to give a good stop. So we'll be showing you our POI landmark for today. It's because it's this place right here. Booyah! Right here. This is Hohensalzburg Fortress. Get a better view of it. There. Hohensalzburg Fortress, one of the largest in all of Europe, by the way. Its German name is Festung Hohensalzburg, High Salzburg Fortress. It sits on top of the low mountain in the city, at 506 meters high. It was erected on the behest of the Prince Archbishops of Salzburg. The fortress itself is around 250 meters long, which is 820 feet in American units, and 150 meters wide, or 490 feet wide, making it one of the largest medieval castles in all of Europe. And this castle has been constructed in 1077 by the Archbishop at the time, Gebhard von Effenstein. It was basically a basic bailey with a wooden wall. However, they expanded their fortress to protect their entrance. And the expansion of the fortress was due to its conflict with Emperor Henry IV, who was used to be the Holy Roman Emperor. And it continued to expand even further under Prince Archbishop Leonhard von Bischoff. The only time this castle ever was sieged was in 1525 under the German Peasants' War. In recent history, it became a major tourist attraction for the railway. During the early 20th century, this was used as a prisoner, holding the Italian prisoners of war and Nazi activists before Germany's annexation of Austria. Thankfully, this place was not destroyed during the war, thankfully. But the interior features a lot of various wings, a courtyard. There's the Prince Bishop's apartments are located in the high floor. There's lots of different aerophones as well. The Salzburg Bull, the Golden Hall. There's a chapel, and bed chambers and all that. There's some really nice stuff here at the fortress. Yeah, hey Nico Wallace, thank you so much for the follow, Nico. I really appreciate you coming along for today. Thank you so much for following. That's really awesome. Yeah, my job is to bring a lot of research into learning the places we fly, and that's the purpose of my streams a lot. Is I'm taking you on a journey and want to show you all the places around here that we're going to fly. Because that's the stuff I like doing a lot. Normally, try to give you a better look at the fortress. Yeah, this area is just stunning. Absolutely stunning area. I can see why lots of people love to visit this area. Look at that fortress. That looks... Yeah, this is handcrafted by Asobo. This came with the Austria World Up, the German, Austria, and Switzerland World Update. Just absolutely incredible. Absolutely amazing. Hey Dryson, good to see you. Yeah, this fortress is absolutely awesome. It's one of the oldest fortresses. It's one of the largest fortresses in all of Europe, by the way. So give a shout out to Dryson. I hope you're doing all right, my good friend. So we're finally made our way to Austria, Österreich, and we're gonna follow the Western Railway. I need to readjust the heading bug. Yeah, we see quite a few of the railways down here. Here's the railroad station down below us. And we're heading off into the Western Railway for today. So definitely check them out. Oh, you had a long week of work. Yes, it's nice to be in the weekend too. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Look at Stealth flying in that Spitfire, man. That's just awesome. I love that's one of the biggest reasons I love Microsoft Flight Simulator so much. So we're going to be flying along the Western Railway now. So this railway, is a 2-track, partially 4-track electrified railway line that runs through from Vienna to Salzburg, but we're running it from reverse via St. Pölten in Linz-Homboff. It's one of the major lines here in Austria, and it originally opened as Empress Elizabeth Railway in 1858, which was from Vienna to Linz. It's currently owned and operated by the Austrian Federal Railways, which is the main railway system of Austria. The track goes through 194 nautical miles. Most people operate at max speed, 160 miles an hour, currently at max. But this railway has had a long history since the 1860s. It upgraded throughout the 20th century. And it's still a very important railway here in Austria. connects between some of Austria's biggest cities, like Vienna, Linz, and Salzburg. And those were also Austria's biggest cities as well. Yeah, I'm doing great. Now, if you guys want to check out the Discord, for all those who are new, I have my Discord up here. But yeah, this is beautiful, Dryson. The Alps is stunning. We're basically on the foothills of the Alps. Absolutely awesome region in the world to fly in. I've always been a big fan of flying in the Alps for a long time. So we're flying from Munich to Vienna today. So we're following two different railways, the Rosenheim-Salzburg Railway and then the Western Railway. We're following two major rail lines today. Oh, well, this is the Cessna 172, but this isn't just any Cessna 172. This is the Firefly Air Cessna 172, done by our two-tone Murphy Picasso, Cyrus T. You have to be a member of Firefly Air to join to get this livery, though. But it's a really awesome livery itself. It's a custom livery for the virtual airline. And it looks absolutely incredible. Oh, and Gray Wallace is here. Hey, Nico Wallace is here too. Good to have you guys here. In the Bonanza. Yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, there's the teal, there's the black and teal. It looks really cool. And I mean, Firefly Air they also made tons of other liveries too for the virtual airline. They've currently made liveries for the PMDG 737, the Phoenix A320. They currently made, there's also livery for the BA 146 from Just Flight. And then they also made one for the Cessna 310. And they're going to work on tons of other really cool liveries as well. So there's that Firefly Air two-tone Murphy livery right here, the little thing. Nice little Easter egg there. Just a really cool little touch. But it's an awesome, awesome livery. Speaking of Tutu Murphy, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot as well. You should definitely check out his channel, Tutu Murphy. The dude is an absolutely awesome person too. You guys should absolutely check out Tutu Murphy. The dude he's one of the big inspirations for me being a streamer. Really entertaining, really awesome guy. He treats everyone really well. Oh, I do. Yeah, he is. Wait, the command isn't working? I guess I'm gonna have to stream elements. I need to actually work on the Oh, there it is. the command's taking a little while. Yeah, the command wasn't working well. So we're going to go ahead and turn right. Yeah, we're getting back to more of the hills and valleys of this area. One of the many of those in the area. So by the way, guys, some interesting things about Austria. So we're now in Austria, so there's quite a few interesting things about Austria. For one, the Alps cover about 62% of the total land area here in Austria, which, I mean, if you've never seen the Alps in the sim, they're definitely some of the most beautiful areas in the entire simulator. They're home to Europe's tallest waterfalls, the Crimi waterfalls. And despite being a small country, Austria is actually bordered by 8 different countries: Germany, Czechia, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Slovenia, Italy, Switzerland, and a lot of people forget this country, Liechtenstein. Now, Austria's most popular sport is not football, it's actually skiing. Skiing has been a big part of Austria for over 100 years now. Has been the most popular sport in Austria. Innsbruck has hosted the Winter Olympics twice, in 1964 and 1976. The current Austrian flag dates all the way back to 1191, which makes it one of the oldest national flags in the world. Austria is also home, guess what? Vienna is actually home to the oldest zoo in the world, the Tiergarten Schönbrunn, which was founded back in 1752. It is the oldest zoo in the world. The sewing machine was actually invented here in Austria in 1818 by the Austrian Josef Monosperger. Invented it. And I know we're going to be visiting this place later, but Schönbrunn Palace, the former summer palace of the Habsburgs, has more than 1,440 rooms. You've flown so many times over the Alps is Switzerland. Yep. Let's see who else is in the chat. I see quite a few people working. Mongo, I see Mongo in the chat. Devil Dude. Hey friends, all good to see you. Okay. Just making sure everything's working. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the famous Hollywood actor who made so many iconic movies, aka the Terminator, was born here in Austria. Gregor Mendel was born in the country as well, the Farmar genetics. And of course, Austria is a major point for music. I mean, you have guys like Mozart, Joseph Haydn, Schubert, Johann Strauss, and more were born in the country. The famous energy drink was created here, known as Red Bull. I mean, there's a lot of things about Austria as well. It's a very interesting place about Austria. So yeah, I hope it helped you guys learn a bit more about Austria. So that way you guys can learn more about It's a really interesting place. We're entering now the city of LOWW. Hey, Chronoko! Great to have you here, Chronoko! Get to the chopper! Yeah, that quote was actually from the 1987 movie The Predator. He said that at the end of the film, get to the chopper. The hills are with you in the sound of music. Oh yes, the sound of the music. That was one of those famous pop culture things about Austria. But LOWW is where we're going to be visiting next. This place, located is the administrative center of its own district. Its name derives from the river Vokla. It means flowing water. It serves many different services and schools. It was part of the European meeting of marksmen and home to other events like the International Music Gathering and more. Some of its famous people include the Princess Alexander of Hanover, who's known from here, Austrian footballer Peter Hackmer, and finally, landscape painter Emily Pelican were all people who were related to the city as well. So, yeah, it's awesome to have you guys find along. So yeah, Chronoko, everything's going good here today. Everything's working out the way it should. So yeah, I'm just talking about the interesting facts about Austria. So yeah, Austria has some really cool things about the country. Yeah, we have another 2 hours nearly. Yeah, we have 2 more hours, but I mean, we're doing pretty well here. And our field situation is at 67%. We're doing really, really well. And I'm in the, and you guys want to know the plane? I'm not just in a Cessna 172. I'm actually in the very special Firefly Air limited edition Firefly Air Cessna 172. We actually have Nico Walls with us, and we have Igor Costella. You guys are doing so well. I mean, it's awesome that formation flying. Right in the foothills of the Alps. Your grandmother was Austrian and grandfather German. I only visited there as a teenager, but this is my homeland. Ah, cool. Yeah, I would love to visit Austria. I would love to visit Vienna one day. I mean, I'm probably going to do a city tour of Vienna at some point. Give you more into detail, but we're currently following the Western Railroad up there. Being around Christmas looks to be one of the most beautiful scenes anyone can be part of. Oh yes, there's a lot of these Christmas markets all throughout Europe. The Christmas markets. Yeah, a lot of these European cities, like in Germany and Austria, have some really awesome Christmas markets. I mean, a lot of these German areas are great for Christmas. It looks like it's red again, but it's... I have my German flag livery for the plane today. Ah, nice. So we're going to be currently visiting next. Coming up soon is the city of Wels. Wels. So Wels is actually in Upper Austria. It's actually the 8th largest city in the country, at over 60,000 people. During the prehistoric, it's been inhabited here since prehistoric times. But it gained a lot more importance during the Roman period because of its central location in the province of Noricum, which is the Latin name for much of Austria and Slovenia. Around the year 120, Wels received Roman city rights under the name of Municipum Alveolva. The enclosed built-up area by the Tron River was at the present level of Kaiser Joseph Platz. There were like brick houses, a bath, an arena, and irrigation system. After the Roman period, during the Middle Ages, it served as a minor trade center. In 943, the Hungarians were defeated by the Bavarians at the Battle of Wels. In 1222, it became during the rule of the Babenberg family, and it received city rights once again. Most of the economy here in the city is services, around 63%, known for its area for shopping and home to several gymnasiums, which is basically academic secondary schools. Some notable residents include Alois Auer, a Austrian painter, inventor, and botanical engineer. For nature printing, member of the European Parliament, Paul Rubing. And film director Thomas Steiner was born here in Wels as well. There's quite a few well-known people here too. So there's the cities of Wels. There's Grey Wallace, and there's Chronico in the kit box. So yeah, we made our way here into Wels. So here's just leaving you out here for the scenery so you guys can take a look at it. And there's Wels Airport. That's a G8. That's a small G8 airport here. Let me go ahead and reset the course. I got ahead. There. Just had to reset the heading. So it's right by the Tron River. This is the Tron down over here. One of the main rivers that flows through this area. So basically, Chronicle, we're flying through the Western Railway. This is what connects Salzburg into Vienna. Once we get through Wels, we'll be talking about one of the most important cities in all of Austria, Linz. Just stunning. I'm going to circle this around so we get a good view of the Alps. Very, very nicely, guys. Wow, this is just awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining along. Yeah, this Cessna 172 is showed no difficulty. So we're now going to approach, we're going to fly over probably one of the most important cities in Austria. It's actually its third largest city. Actually, we're going to be approaching this soon. What is your favorite piece of trivia I learned so far? So my favorite trivia was actually, so far, learned a bit about the fortress, actually. One of the largest in all of Europe, and it's really cool. We got all sorts of different rooms, cathedrals, and all that. That's my favorite piece of trivia so far. But there's also lots of interesting little facts about Austria. So this is the city of Linz. We'll be visiting here soon. Linz. Linz is actually the capital of Austria, which is one of the 9 states. It is the third largest city in the country, behind Vienna and Graz. It's located on the banks of the Danube River, which is Europe's second longest river. Its population currently is around 204,000 people. But Linz's history goes way back to the Roman period, when it was founded by the Romans, named Lentia. The name Linz was first recorded in AD 799 AD. It was a provincial and local government city of the Holy Roman Empire, and an important trading point connecting several routes along the Danube, including from east to west in Bohemia and Poland from the north. Being the city where Emperor Frederick III spent his last years for a short period of time, it was the most important city in the Holy Roman Empire, though it lost its status after his death in 1493 to Vienna and Prague. But one important inhabitant of the city during the Age of Discovery was the astronomer and mathematician Johannes Kepler, who spent several years in the city teaching mathematics. And he discovered back in 1618 at Linz about a distance cubed over time squared, or third, of law of planetary motion. And for basically what people don't know is it's one of the laws of Kepler's laws of planetary motion, of how planets orbit around each other in an ellipse. Previously, a lot of people thought the orbit of the planets is actually circular, but it's actually an ellipse with the sun and all that. And these were based on Johannes Kepler. This is what he did during that time. During his childhood, during his youth, Adolf Hitler actually spent his youth here from 1898 to 1907, when he left towards the city of Vienna. And of course, he wasn't the only infamous Nazi around this area. Adolf Eichmann also spent his youth here too, as well. Two very infamous people. There's also the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein, who did it too. During the end of World War II as well, After World War II happened, a lot more scientists and all the stuff. The city was rebuilt after World War II and upgraded to become one of the highest forms of institution, Johannes Kepler University. It's also one of the main economic centers in Austria, home to Voestalpine, e.g., the large technology capitals groups here. It's also one of the 4 harbors here in Austria. For a lot of the trade and stuff is a big deal. There's also lots of shopping malls and all that. And so, one of the most interesting points of interest here include St. Mary's Cathedral, which is the main cathedral here and here. There's also Bruckner House, the concert house that's located on the banks of the Danube. And of course, it's home to a vibrant music and art scene as well, well funded by the city and state of Upper Austria, which is rich in cultural diversity as well. There's music, museums, cinema, and more. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty well-known people from this part of Austria. Oh yeah, the architecture is, of course. So there is the city of Linz, Austria's 3rd largest city. Unfortunately, there is no POI landmarks, unfortunately, in Linz, unfortunately, for a Microsoft Flight Simulator from Asobo. So I'll have to make do with just taking a picture of the city. There's the football grounds down below us. I'm taking a refuel break at Lima Oscar Whiskey Lima. Gonna catch up with you later. Thank you so much for Nico for following my stream and checking out the channel. Thank you so much for coming along today. I'm gonna go ahead. So we're just flying through the natural harbor here across the mighty Danube River. It's also home to Linz, the central station as well. Is in Lindt chocolate? Good question, actually. Lindt is actually Swiss, funnily enough. It's not German, it's Swiss. It's Swiss. Swiss are its own nationality and stuff. It's Swiss. It's known for the chocolate truffles and chocolate bombs. They were actually headquarters here in Kitchberg, Switzerland. Thanks for looking that up. No worries. That's actually a good question. I'll look that up. Linz Hauptbahnhof is the central train station here at Linz. It is the centerpiece of the transport hub here in the city. 40,000 people visit here daily, making it the busiest train station in Austria outside of Vienna and the 7th busiest overall in the country. It used to be opened back in 1858 as well. And they feature all sorts of different routes. Mainly the most popular are just like to Vienna, Salzburg, and more. So now, there is one more. So there's another thing I want to talk about. So we're going across see this big river down here? This is the mighty Danube River. The Danube is Europe's second longest river behind the Volga in Russia, which we saw during my Berlin-Beijing trip. It flows through much of Central and Southeast Europe from the Black Forest in Germany all the way down to the Black Sea outside the coast of Romania. It was once a long-standing frontier of the Roman Empire, and today it runs through the largest number of countries in the world, 10. It flows through from Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania. So it flows through 10 different countries. Actually, it also flows through Moldova and Ukraine as well. So actually, I got that wrong. Yeah, it's 10. So from 3,500, I'm going to go ahead and drop down to 2,500. Just going to go drop down a little bit. Just going to drop altitude to 2,500. But the Danube used to be a major part of the hubs. It's been around since ancient times as a major trade route throughout Europe. Today, over 1,500 nautical miles of its length are navigable by river. It's also a source of hydropower and drinking water among the areas of Central Europe. And there's a lot of different capital cities that are around the Danube. They include Budapest, Vienna, Budapest, Belgrade, Bratislava. But also within the basin are other cities like Bucharest, Sofia, Zagreb, Ljubljana, and Sarajevo. The river itself actually flows is 1,700 miles, but most of it has actually been navigable, funnily enough. And of course, the Danube is featured in all sorts of pop culture, but particularly its mention of a famous waltz by Johann Strauss, the Blue Danube Waltz, well known around the world as a major lullaby. So, very famous river, and we're going to be flying through much of our route across the Danube. A flyby. Yep, here is the Danube. There's Chronogo in the amazing tip box. Boom. Nice. So we're about 100 nautical miles from our destination. We don't have too much farther to go. We're doing quite well for ourselves today. just enjoy this peaceful, relaxing stream. Just trying to sit around, just be a little peaceful. Oh, you're taking off back off from LOWW. How far we are from Vienna? On our route chronicle, we're about just less than 100 nautical miles away. We're about 98 nautical miles away from Vienna. So, like I said, we're not too far at all from reaching the capital of Austria. Oh, you're taking back off again? Nice to see you, Nico. So I hope you guys, I want to ask you a big question for all you guys in the chat. Do you guys have anything major going on for the weekend? Some really fun stuff you gotta do in your plans? For me, I've still got to work on a lot more slides for Sunday's City Tour Berlin. It's gonna be a doozy. I'm currently working on. I still need to do like 10 more slides left to go, but I had to add 60 more slides to the Berlin City Tour thing, and I'm gonna have to give it all to you Sunday. It's crazy how much stuff I've been working on. There's more of the train roads and through here. I mean, this is just great. Right on the foothills, right here in the distance, you can see the Alps in the distance, covering through. There's one of the little grass strips down below. This is a grass strip. A lot of your GA stuff. There's the train station. See all the rails? That's part of the Western Railway, and that connects us up to Vienna. just looking forward while flying, looking at beautiful places. It is. That's where it should be beautiful. I'm just doing some more of this. I was in a bad car accident. Oh, that just sucks, man. I hope we can get walking again soon. I know how difficult. I don't even want to think about how difficult it is for therapy. How much therapy it would take. But it's great that you managed to start learning how to walk again. I mean, it could have been worse. You may never walk ever again. Like, there are times that does happen. So it's good that you're starting to learn how to walk again. That's really awesome. Very, very helpful. Yeah, we all hope for the best for you. Yeah, I completely agree, Typhon. I hope things go well for you as well. So Austria's most major airport is Vienna, but it's home to several major smaller airports. There's Graz, which is in the south. Then, of course, we visited Salzburg inland. There's also the Klagenfurt Airport. And then finally, the last major airport, minor international airport, is actually Innsbruck, which I know a lot of people know is one of the most difficult airports to approach in all of Europe due to being right situated in the middle of the Alps. And quite a lot of airlines do their charter flights here at Innsbruck because of all the ski traffic. Because skiing is such a huge deal in Austria. Like, it's not so bad in a small GA plane to approach Innsbruck, just because like, you don't need much, you have way more leeway in a small GA. But in a big airliner, that's going to be quite a bit of a challenge in an airliner. I can't say it's been a beautiful process. I was on foot and got ran over, broke a few bones. Very, very lucky. Oh, you're starting to catch up. Oh, let me check you out, Nico. I see Chrono here. I see you, Gray. You're up there. Oh yeah, 6,000 feet. And there's Costello and the mighty Spitfire. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot to turn off one of the lights. Oh, hold on. Turn off the taxi lights. Go need that. You have to go now. Oh, thank you so much, Costello, for being around for today's fight. Thank you so much, Costello, for joining me on today's fight. It was great to have you flying along. Chronicle, Nico Wallace is not friend to all. Dark Wallace is Nico Wallace. Chronicle. Friend to all is just friend to all. But it's fantastic having you guys fly along here on today's flight. We're approaching more of rural Austria. Now, I'm planning on taking for next week's, I think for next week's journey from Vienna to Budapest, I'm thinking about taking the Drifter Ultralight for that one, actually. It's only 166 nautical miles, so why not take that next journey with the little tiny ultralight? I mean, it can go around, that journey's around 160 nautical miles. And I think with that, it could go up to 80 nautical miles, which would be perfect for the journey. Oh yeah, it would be interesting with an ultralight. Yeah, it's about 160 nautical miles, but the drifter can go up to 70 nautical miles. And it actually also has autopilot too. The drifter ultralight from Ant's airplanes also has an autopilot, which is perfect for the journey for Ford as well. It should be absolutely awesome. Look at that, friends all in. Friends all, wait, friend all, wait. Can you pull up? Oh, okay, good. I hope friend all was it. Oh no. I think we're gonna need a minute for friend all. He's going down. He's going down. Oh my goodness, he just... okay, he's fine. Hey, Virgil's okay. See you next time. Take care, Eagle Costella. Thank you so much for coming along today. So yeah, we're going this way. We're going to be heading across this path for quite a bit. Well, the reason we're going this way is because we're going to be heading towards in a couple more towns. We're going to be visiting Melk, the city of Melk, actually here in Austria. But there's actually a good reason we're visiting the city. And that's because it's home to a very famous abbey up here. We'll be discussing a bit later. We're about less than 75 nautical miles left to go. We have 52% our fuel situation, so I think it's good enough for the rest of the journey. Absolutely terrific. Yes, it is. It's absolutely fantastic. The scenery here in this trip is awesome. Mhm. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. The next city, once we turn right, we'll be heading to our next city, the famous city of Mulk. So the city of Mulk is located here in Austria. It has about 5,000 people, but the thing this city is most well known for is its Baroque abbey called Mulk Abbey. It's first mentioned as Medicia in 831, the Slavic word for border. It was given to Leopold I, Margrave of Austria, to serve as a buffer between this part of Austria, Bavaria, and the Magyars, which became known as the Hungarians. As well. Obviously, the Abbey is the most famous site during the city. And one of its most famous people here was Gertrude of Babenberg, who was the Duchess of Bohemia, which is now Czechia. And then the famed Mulk Abbey. This place is very famous. It was founded in 1089 by Leopold II, Margrave of Austria, when he gave one of his castles to the Benedictine monks of Lembach Abbey. And that school itself was founded in the 12th century, and it became known for its extensive manuscripts collection. It was also a site for many of the production of major manuscripts, and by the 15th century, the abbey became the center of the Mulk reform movement. Due to its fame and academic stature, it escaped the dissolution under Emperor Joseph II, the Holy Roman Emperor of Austria, until 1780, and survived other threats, including that of the Napoleonic Wars, and in the period following the Anschluss in 1938. It's featured in the novel The Name of the Rose, attributed to the library. It's also part of the Warschau Cultural Landscape, a World Heritage Site. There's quite a few restoration efforts. The most recent restoration would be in 1995. This place features a lot of different monuments. They got, this place has got, they got their own courtyard. They got altars. There's lots of altars, choir stalls, a pulpit, ceilings, and of course their huge library with lots of manuscripts and everything, paintings. This abbey's got all sorts of things, and it's actually a PY here in the sim. I'm gonna go ahead and So this is the Mulk Abbey, and this thing looks absolutely awesome. Start my descent. Yeah, sorry I missed it. I'm Gray Wallace. Yep, he's Gray Wallace. So this is the Mulk Abbey. Been around since 1089. It survived everything. It survived the 30 Years' War. It survived the Napoleonic Wars. It survived World War I and World War II, for that matter. I mean, this is just stunning. Like, this is what a solo does, and this is for free, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. You see all the courtyards, parking spots. Just absolutely incredible. Like, if it's one thing Microsoft Flight Simulator gets right, it's its scenery. Like, gotta give you guys a solo a lot of credit. The scenery they've done for this is just really excellent. Let's go fly over the place a little. Hey, Joey Bolo's in the house. Good to see you, Joey Bolo. I need to get back in the air and give you back a shout out, but I need to make sure I don't crash. But no, it's great to see you, buddy. How you? Oh, look at this. Look at this Abbey. This is just cool. Just look at that. And that's why I like doing the IFR flights, the railroads, because you may never know what landmarks we're going to be seeing on the railroads. I mean, if we just did straight there, we would miss out on the Salzburg Fortress, and of course we would miss out on this Abbey. Yeah, that thing is massive. It's huge. This Abbey's enormous. They actually have an official website for it. We can actually go back to 2000. Yeah, this Abbey's huge. And they do a lot of guided tours around this place too. And it's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site too. Apparently this is 320 meters long, actually. It's 320 meters long. And they have lots of different festivals and all that sort of stuff, parks and more located in the Abbey. Lots of different unique areas around here. Yeah, there's a similar green complex in Malta. Yeah, Malta's got one of those too. I'm gonna go ahead and turn left. We're just following the railroad into Vienna. So we're about 50 nautical miles away from Vienna, guys. So we're nearly there. Yeah, that's why when you go to one of my journeys, I probably pick landmarks to explore. Yeah, it was modeled beautifully. It is. The modeling was fantastic. Just looks like just much like the real thing. But that's what's great about what Asobo have been doing, is bringing all this in sim. And it's great for me as a content creator because I can talk about the history of the place while we actually have it in the sim. And I think it's perfect. It's starting to get dark in my sim. Yeah, the scenery is really awesome too. So we have Chronicle, Friends of All, and Gray Wallace. Nico Wallace, aka Gray Wallace, is in the air. Chronicle and Friends of All. I really thank you guys so much for coming with me today. I know that there was a lot been going on with my OBS thing on Wednesday, but now everything's working the way it should. So thank you so much, guys, for coming along and joining me on today's journey. Thank you guys so much. And by the way, let me give Joey Bolo a shout since he's here. So Joey Bolo's 77, a really awesome guy. He's been actually one of my earliest followers, funny enough. Joey Bolo's been one of my earlier followers. But he's a great content creator, great streamer, a really awesome person in this community. Definitely check out Joey Bolo 77 if you haven't. He makes some great content as well. So this one here is going to be St. Pölten, or St. Pölten, the capital and largest city of the state of Lower Austria in the northeast. One of the 9 states with over 55,000 people. It's a city with its own statuette. This city has been around since the Roman times. It was on the site of the ancient Roman city of Ilium Catium that existed between the 2nd and 4th century AD. In the year 799, it was named Triesma, but St. Pölten didn't become a town until 1050, and it became a city in 1169. The city replaced Vienna as the capital of Lower Austria in 1986. And its name was driven from the Hippolytus of Rome. It's known for its different sports, even American football. It's also known for its cultural centers like theaters, including the Festspielhaus St. Pölten Theater, along with a couple of different museums and orchestra. And some of the more notable people here from the city include pianist Jörg Demis, the former Chancellor of Austria, Alfred Gusenbauer, and actor Erwin Leder, a well-known actor who is most famous in Das Boot. So, too kind, Viper Strike. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Joey Bolo. This is St. Pölten. You're gonna be AFK. You're gonna make it. Oh, baby Bolo. Baby Bolo 77. Oh, that's right. You got a child to take care of. No, you're perfectly good, Joey Bolo. You gotta take care of the family, especially the really young ones. Definitely take care of them first. So outside of that, we'll keep going straight, and then we'll get our way into Vienna. Oh, what's this? Oh, Catbat 9 with the raid. 3 viewers, Catbat 9 viewers, and Catbat Cat, Catbat 9, Catbat Cat, and Catbat 9 viewers. Welcome to Viper Strike 95 stream. It's great to see you, my good friend. I haven't seen one of your streams in a while, but Catbat 9 is another great community member of the Two-Tone Murphy community, like myself. But he also does streams. He did an around the world trip as well. So I hope to glad to see you. I heard you were flowing your way into Manchester today. There's that achievement here in FS Hub. It was the Bakewell Tarts. I hope you had a great stream, my friend. Yeah, so for guys who don't know what the heck is a Bakewell tart, from my research, they're actually a type of English confectionery. It's consisted of a short crust pastry beneath layers of jam, frangipane, which is almond flavored custard, and topping of flaked almonds. It's basically a variant of the Bakewell pudding. It is associated with the town of Bakewell, and they've been around since the 20th century at least. So that's what they are. They're basically pastries. Yeah, Tar Day completed. Yeah, I completed that achievement too. I'm glad you had a great stream. So, Catbat, we're on leg 3 of the FS Hub achievement, the Orient Express. We're doing that for FS Hub. I've already did flights to Paris to Strasbourg and Strasbourg to Munich. So now we're heading towards the Austrian capital of Vienna. This is 6. Nice. I should do that in real life, maybe. Yeah, maybe that would be really cool to do in real life. But it's absolutely beautiful to go into Austria. So we visited quite a few landmarks today. Earlier in our trip, we visited the city of Salzburg. It's literally called Salt Castle. We got to visit the birthplace of Mozart and Hohensalzburg Fortress. And then earlier we just visited the city of Linz, and finally the famous Mulk Abbey. Mulk Abbey is really cool. It's been around since 1089. So yep, I have pictures of my Discord, Catbat. I'll probably post them on my Discord. But it's great to have you guys here. And of course, I had to play classical music because we're getting to Vienna. It's only fitting to play classical music when we get to the city of Vienna. So guys, we're actually about to approach Vienna. Once we get the next turn, I'll be discussing the city of Vienna. Because let me tell you, Vienna, it's a very special city. And trust me, special city does not begin to describe Vienna. You should check out real-time weather. Okay, yeah, let me go check real-time weather. And real-time. Oh, that, you're not kidding, Chronico. Let's try live weather. Oh, you're not kidding. Oh, that looks incredible. You're not kidding. That looks amazing, Chronico. You're not kidding, my friend. That's awesome. Yeah, this sim is just incredible. Yeah, this sim it's still surprising me just how awesome this sim looks. Just stunning. So yeah, we're only 35 nautical miles away from our destination in at Vienna International Airport, the newest Firefly air hub as well. So So let's go ahead and talk about Vienna, guys. I mean, let's talk about Vienna. I mean, what's there to say about Vienna as a city? We all know it's the capital largest city in Vienna, with over 2 million inhabitants, which is nearly one third of the country's population lives here in Vienna. It is universally very famous for its cultural heritage. It's among the richest in all of Europe. It was also used to be the largest German-speaking city in the world until the beginning of the 20th century when Berlin took that. It's home to many international organizations, the United Nations, OPEC, and OSCE, all make their home here in Vienna. The city center itself is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. And it's also known as one of its famous nicknames as the City of Music. as, I mean, come on, it's home to guys like Beethoven and Mozart and Joseph Haydn, classical music legends. It's also known as the City of Dreams because of its first psychoanalyst, Sigmund Freud. Freud made his home here in Vienna. And of course, it's home to its high quality of life too. But yeah, Vienna's history goes way back when the Celts settled here, and then the Romans took place at this city, known as Vindobona, to guard against the Germanic tribes to the north. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Leopold I of Babenberg became count, and this district grew into the Duchy of Austria, which became eventually the Kingdom of Austria. In 1440, the city became the resident city of the mighty Habsburg dynasty. And for those who don't know anything about Habsburgs, well, if you know your European history, the Habsburgs were one, if not the most important imperial dynasties in European history. I mean, at the height of the Habsburgs' power in the 16th century to early 17th century, the Habsburgs controlled not only Germany and Europe, but the Spanish Habsburgs controlled large portions of the Americas, far north as to the southern United States, to far south as the tip of Argentina. They also took the Philippines and more. Like, the Habsburgs had so much political power. It's not funny how much. And it became the de facto capital of the Holy Roman Empire in 1437, and it became a center of arts, music, and fine cuisine. During the Napoleonic Wars, it became the capital of the newly formed Austrian Empire, and that lasted all the way to 1918. Then it still became the capital of Austria, and it still remained the highest center of high culture. During World War II, Vienna was bombed quite a bit due to, the Nazis. After the war, Vienna was actually occupied by the four Central Powers before it was given back to Austria back in the 50s. Then going forward, Vienna was quickly rebuilt and restored back to its former glory. Truly an absolutely incredible city. However, the World Heritage Center is now endangered because of the high-rise development. Of course, Vienna is obviously very rich in culture. It's music. Music is a big one here in Vienna in particular. When you're home to some of the most famous artists in the world of all time, like Mozart, Joseph Haydn, Beethoven, Johann Brahms, and more have worked here. And not just the composers, but also opera houses are big, theater, pop culture, and even Eurovision has been hosted here in Vienna. Lots of very famous actors and musicians as well, writers. There's lots of museums, the Hofburg. Tons of museums and landmarks. As well, there's lots of parks and gardens and sports. They're home to FK Austrian Wien, 27-time cup winners of the Austrian Bundesliga. And of course, it's food here. I mean, Wiener Schnitzel. Wiener Schnitzel is very popular here in Austria, but also lots of cakes and desserts and drinks. And of course, you can't go to Vienna without the tourist attractions. There's a lot of them in Vienna. Yeah, it's just way too beautiful to find in our simulator. Exactly. Failed tart date. It didn't reach. Oh no! Oh, cat bats. Oh no. Yeah, you also don't need a car in Vienna. Yeah, you don't need one. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of live time today. I'm gonna just adjust the real time. Oh no. Hey, don't worry, Cabat. You can always redo the flight again. It's not the biggest deal. That just sucks. So we're going to be visiting the Wien Hauptbahnhof. It's the busiest railroad station here in Austria. It became operational in 2015, linking major railway lines throughout north, south, east, and west terminus. It's Austria's busiest long-distance railway station with over 268,000 commuters daily. It has a total of 5 platforms, each with 2 sides with 10 different platforms. It's currently dropping frames, I guess, so... Right. I'm losing frames again. This... the 1950s. Lots of people came here to live here, including Maria Theresa has lived in the estate. The longest reigning emperor of Austria, Franz Joseph, was born actually here and died there too in 1916. After World War II, it was requisitioned as to provide office space for the British delegation for Austria. And since 1992, the Palace and Gardens have been owned and administered by its own company, the Schönbrunn Culture and British MBH. But the thing that's most famous is down over here. So right here are the famous gardens around here as well. It was a sculpted garden palace, and behind there is the famed Neptune Fountain and the Gloriette as well. The Gloriette is the most famous garden access, and it was crowned here since 1775. Now this thing was destroyed during this. Now behind us is the Gloriettes, which is right here. This thing was destroyed during the Second World War, but it was rebuilt destroyed in 1947 and restored once again in 1995. And it was home to the Roman ruins, and they do all sorts of stuff here today. They do concerts here for opera, and a lot of TV films have been placed here at the palace. From the Sissy trilogy of the 1950s from Austria to comedy films like The Great Race was filmed here. Jackie Chan shot scenes of Armor of God in 1986. It was featured in The Amazing Race. And more have actually been part of Schönbrunn Palace. Is it from my OBS making this lag? I hope so. I think the last of the lag has been dealt with. It's just he was just trying to load in. So this is the beautiful Schönbrunn Palace. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and take more pictures. Whoops. Yeah. Here's the exterior of the place. Yeah, it's a massive palace. And mind you, that's one of the residences of the Habsburgs, mind you. Oh wait, did they just release an update? Where'd you heard that, Uncle B Sim? Is that Sim Update 10 that just released? Is that what released, Sim Update 10? I think that might be where it is. Is it Sim Update 10? Is that probably why the server's been lagging so much? Is that probably why it's been lagging so much? treasury, theater, a writing school, and the Imperial Muse as well. And there's many different, the Swiss wing is the oldest parts of the palace, is the Swiss wing, developed in the 13th century. It's also got the Stahlberg, which is the Muse, containing the crown jewels of the Habsburgs, Chancery wing, the Leopoldine wing, and more. Lots of wings and stuff here. But this is without a doubt one of the great, and still a very popular tourist attraction here in Austria. But definitely one of the most absolutely beautiful places. But yeah, this city is stunning in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh yeah, and I actually forgot to put notes for this one. Catholic Archdiocese of Vienna and the Archbishop. This cathedral was first consecrated back in 1147 and is the most important religious building in the city. It's borne witness to many important events in Habsburg and Austrian history, and with its multicolored tile roof, became one of the most recognizable symbols of the entire city. Yeah, this has been around, and it was ground broke in 1137, and it was complete in 1160. It took about nearly 30 years to get this thing built. It's around 351 feet long, 230 feet wide, and a height of 448 feet. It's known for its absolutely beautiful roof and tiles. Lots of different fixtures all throughout the walls, the altars. There's many different chapels, the organs, and there have been so many people that have actually been chapel choir here. Lots of different musicians actually got their career start here as a chapel. But also weddings of royalty, musicians have been married here, funerals of European royalty were buried here. Matthias Corvus was buried here. Funerals for a lot of the members of the Habsburgs were buried here, like Franz Joseph, and the most recent Habsburg, the last crown prince of Austria-Hungary, Otto van Habsburg. And of course, it's featured a lot in many media, films, and much, much more, including The Third Man and Burnout 3. Oh, it was for the beta. Oh, it was for the sim update beta. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, this is St. Stephen's Cathedral. Absolutely, it is an absolutely beautiful church here in Vienna. It is a, look at, you also have the Austrian Eagle too. Oh, I can't wait to do a full city tour of this place. Oh man, this is, Vienna has so many historical buildings. Like I said, I would love to visit Vienna at some point in my life. See the old Austrian Eagle up there, yeah. And here's the thing a lot of people forget too about history. During their height, the Habsburgs were probably the most powerful royal family in Europe, and even to the 19th century, they're still very powerful. Just absolutely incredible. Oh man, Vienna is absolutely beautiful this time of the year. We got one more PY landmark we're going to be visiting. And it's actually the main national stadium here. Oh, geez, your stream's buffering. Yeah, I can't help it. The internet's so inconsistent. Boom, boom. I think it's because of photogrammetry. I'm trying to delete all this unnecessary stuff. So we got one more major landmark POI, and that is the Ernst Happel Stadium. It is currently ranked as one of the 5-star stadiums in UEFA. But in addition to many sport events, here. This is the stadium here for the Austrian national football team. So we're about to make our final landing here. It is the major hub for Austrian airlines as well as low-cost carriers like Ryanair and Wizz Air. It can even carry planes as large as the A380. It serves destinations around Europe with long-haul flights to Asia, North America, and Africa. In 2020, it handled 7.8 million passengers, but during the height of it, much more. So that is about the airport, and we're gonna go ahead and try and make our landings. Let's go for a predict in the chat, exclamation point predict. I really apologize for this. Like, it was actually going really, really well. So, yeah, that's about it for today. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this thing off. Let's go happen after landing. Once we part, transponder be off. Yeah, turn off the mixture. We're going to open up the valve. Battery and alternator are turned off. Beacon light is off, and that is everything. So that's it, guys. Well, that's going to complete today's stream. I'm really sorry for the lag later on, but at least we got leg 3 completed. Let me go ahead and check my FS Hub thing. Yep, it says here we just completed leg 3 of the trip. Awesome. So that's leg 3 of the Orient Express is now completed. So thank you guys so much. So next Wednesday we would do Vienna to Budapest. I'm planning on taking the Drifter Ultralight for this one to see a very different view of the Orient Express as we go from the largest city of Austria to the largest city of Hungary. And then on Sunday we will be doing the Berlin City Tour for part 2 of the Berlin City Tour. We'll be visiting the capital of Germany, Berlin. Oh, thank you so much, Chronicle, for the kind words. I mean, that's what I want to be as a better streamer, is to do it. So for who we're going to be raiding today, we raided Fabio last time. I guess we could raid Fabio again. He's currently in Brazil, so I think we're going to raid the Flying Fabio for today. I mean, the only other person I was thinking about raiding is Lilo. Lilo would definitely be another good one to raid. So it's between Lilo and Fabio, but I'm thinking I'm going with the Flying Fabio since he's going to probably get more of a big raid. So I'm probably going to raid the Flying Fabio once again. Thank you guys so much for today's stream. Seriously, I want to say a massive thank you for all in the chat for being here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around through thick and thin. So guys, thank you so much. And take care, everyone. Viper Strike 95 is going to be signing off. So take care, everyone.